I'm Cassandra Hearn, a top divorce litigator in California. I have a passion for educating you through your own divorce process. I've taken the toughest of divorce cases to trial, including everything from divorces worth millions of dollars to serious child abuse cases to cases where spouses have turned to wage war against each other. Over the past 15 years of litigation experience, I have seen all of the highs and lows that come with making your way through a divorce. I created this podcast to help you gain insight and get into the right mindset so you can do a divorce by yourself, and to help you make all the right decisions along the way. Whether you're just thinking about divorce or are right in the middle of one, if you're looking for information, tools, inspiration, and a community to help you through it, you're in the right place. Welcome to the podcast, where I will be sharing with you all of my divorce secrets. During the last few episodes, we've been talking about understanding the divorce timeline, what you can do to proactively manage your divorce timeline, and also how your own actions can impact your divorce timeline. Today, I want to talk to you about how the divorce timeline, especially if it's going to be a lengthy one, may have an impact on your emotional state of being, on your mental health, and ways that you can work to try to navigate through it. Because let's be honest, we can't always predict at the outset exactly how long your divorce is going to take or what kinds of twists and turns may happen for you, no matter how well you plan ahead. So let's think about how the divorce timeline, especially a long one, can impact you. A divorce in and of itself is an emotional process. No matter whether you are the person asking for the divorce or if you are the person responding to the divorce. Either way, a divorce is a major change in life and a major departure from where you probably thought you were going in life. Building a life together suddenly becomes deconstructing a life together so that two lives are now separate and apart. The impact of this should not be underestimated. To be honest with you, most people, even those who are asking for a divorce, don't truly appreciate and understand the impact of the divorce until they're right in it, up to their knees or even up to their neck. So, starting off by appreciating that this is going to be an emotional process, no matter how cool you are or which party you happen to be in the process, it's going to sting. So let's talk about how you can understand the impact that this will have. One is that this will cause you stress and anxiety. Even if it's your second rodeo in court, going through the process is a stressful one. From appearing at a courthouse to answering papers, getting served, this is the kind of stuff that movies are made of, and now you're going through it. There's also the anxiety of the unknown, or the thing that's coming that you don't want to come. Whether that's the divorce itself, or whether that's fear of the process, or whether that is simply the daunting knowing that whatever it is, it's coming next and it's coming at you. Another element to consider is emotional exhaustion. Think of it this way. Stress and anxiety are tough, but to sustain that over a long period of time, that can become exhausting really quickly. And not to mention that the exhaustion can stay with you and follow you throughout the entire process. And it's something you need to be aware of, especially when it comes time for the phase in your case where you're going to be making decisions, big decisions about dividing your estate, custody of the children, figuring out who owes what bill or what debt, deciding which asset goes to which person, or even trying to liquidate. All of these things can be emotionally draining and exhausting, and they can take place over the duration of your divorce, which means you're going to be making big decisions for a decent amount of time. And those decisions should be made from a place of strength and courage as much as possible versus exhaustion and let's just get this over with. All of these things can have a major impact on your mental health. And the mental health state of any person, quite frankly, going through divorce is usually a trauma state, even if you're the person asking for the divorce. Sometimes, especially if you're the person asking for the divorce. And this is for a number of reasons. It can be guilt-ridden. It can be simply based on the fact that this is a foreign process for any person to have to go through. And when you're going through the process with an attorney or without an attorney, it's still going to have an impact on your mental health. So what can you do? How can you approach this? I've made it seem pretty daunting, and it is, but there are ways that you can approach this that are healthy and that are the best you can do in a tough situation. So let's talk about those. Now, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a therapist either. I'm just the divorce attorney, but I've helped so many clients through this process. I can tell you a few things that have helped my clients throughout the years of practice I've had in divorce court. And some of these things might seem overly simplistic or things you've heard before, but you've heard them before because they work. So let's think about some of those things that work in all phases of life to help you stay healthy no matter how tough the going gets. First, consider physical activity. Working out or just getting outside and being healthy. A regular dose of vitamin D from our good old sunshine is always a great way to stay healthy. Being mindful of what you do. Mindfulness and meditation can assist you throughout the entire divorce process, whether that's making the easy decisions or the hard ones. Being mindful and stopping to reflect and meditate, and especially write, if you can write. Sit down, get a blank piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a fancy journal. Just write. Put down on paper what your problem is or what is the thing that you're struggling with in this divorce, and just write. When you finish writing, read it. Read it again. Read it tomorrow. Read it in a week. Read it before the day is that you have to make the final decision and see how it sits with you. Doing these types of mindful activities will help you throughout your divorce. And then, of course, there's therapy. There's individual therapy to help you get through this process. Group therapy and even online therapy as a really great resource for people who are going through divorce just like you. I suggest therapy not because everyone needs a therapist, but because your divorce attorney is not your therapist. So maybe it's a little selfish for me to say this, but as a divorce attorney, I know that clients come to rely on advice and they come to rely on guidance, but an attorney isn't the person who can give you advice or guidance about the internal workings of what you are struggling with. An attorney can tell you what to expect in court and what the law says, but do not confuse an attorney, whether it's your attorney or any research you're doing online or any guidance you've found, for the sound advice of a therapist instead. If you feel you need therapy, and most people do, at least temporarily, to get through this process, definitely look for that resource instead. All right, what if therapy isn't your jam? You know what? Equally as good for many people is the support and community that's around them. A strong group of friends, a strong family base with as little conflict as possible as you're going through this difficult time. Picking and choosing how you're spending your time outside of court and outside of your divorce papers to focus on really healthy relationships and things that are helping you move forward and not just ruminate about the past or about your soon-to-be ex. Looking forward is one of the best things that you can do to try to help move yourself along, and doing it with someone who's by your side, like a really good friend or a group of friends or family members or a community group of people who share the same interests with you or are at the same phase in life with you, is such a great way to keep yourself healthy and emotionally capable of moving your case forward, especially if it gets really tough. Now, aside from all of those tools you can use to help you along, the next tool is actually yourself. One of the best things that you can do as you're going through the divorce process is to help yourself by staying motivated. You're going through a complex legal process when you go through a divorce, and that's if it's a short divorce or even a really long one. It's still complex. And what you need to do as you're moving through your divorce is to do everything within your power to stay positive. Always look on the bright side of life, right? That's what they say, and it's true. Choose to be happy in the situation you're in, even if it's muckety muck. You've got to stick with yourself because you are the one who's going to get yourself through this. I know I mentioned friends and therapy and other resources and meditating and writing and all of these things. It's you who's going to be the one who does it for yourself. So take ownership of where you are at this moment and push to move yourself forward. In addition to focusing on your bright future, also consider that you want to keep yourself informed. Stay focused on the issues that are really important to you in your case, and take the time to learn as much about it as you can. Do your research online and find tools like Divorce Secrets that's designed to help you through this process, so that every step along the way, you know as much as you can and you feel empowered and emboldened to be confident in your position and your decisions in your case. Lastly, don't forget to celebrate the small wins. There may be a number of wins, so to speak, in your case. Well, what's a win? A win is anything. A win can be you got a good hearing date. A win can be everybody signed the paperwork. A win can be you understand the process and the light bulb went off. The wins will come no matter how small or how big in your case. So remember that as you are moving yourself forward through your divorce, to celebrate yourself and all of the good things that will be coming from this. Remember, it's a great day tomorrow. And you know what? Today is too. So even though your divorce will take some time, and it might take a really long time, hang in there and know that the timeline of a divorce varies for every single person. And it's not just you if it's taking way too long. It's a lot of people. And a lengthy divorce timeline can really get the best of you if you're not willing to stand up and do all of these good things for yourself. So remember, as you're looking ahead at your divorce timeline, be patient, be strong, be motivated, and stay on the bright side of life.